It's the Chief Bonnie with Board Games. This is a review of Command and Colors Samurai Battles from GMT. Whoop, whoop. These little guys don't come with it. All right, a tight shot of the box, and yes, my Samurai Stormtroopers from Taiwan. So let's come down and take a look at the board. What I've set up here is kind of scenario one, which is not historical. It's just a way to learn the game, but I've added in a copy of every different unit. I've also got the blocks laying down just so you can see them better. Normally they would be standing up, which would be way more conducive if we were sitting across from each other at the game table. So the first thing to show, let me zoom in, and this will be for players that have not played this yet. You'll see a line. Now I'm going to zoom back out. The line's actually a little hard to see in this version, sometimes, which is good. Sometimes it's very easy to see. Now it's very easy to see in person. But you will have a left, center, and a right for the board. And when you're playing the game, you will have cards that will allow you to move your units based on if they're in the left, center, or right, or sometime it'll name the type of unit, and you can move 3 of that type of unit, just for an example. And then you don't have to worry about, you can just move 2 over here and 1 in the center or whatever. But card hand management is a big part of this game, and it's the fog of war that the entire Borg commands and color system has. So on the board, let me pan over, you will have an open field on the board, but you'll have little tiles, you'll have little tiles, double-sided, that you will place down on the board for different terrain effects. So you may have rivers or mountains or forest or valleys. There's a whole allotment, allow you to change the map, match historical scenarios, or even later on customize. Now, I need to point out, in the scenario book, there are 40 different scenarios. I'll just show you right here the little listing, and they range from starting, so you got your non-historical, and then 1517 AD, all the way to 1615 AD, Battle Among the Tomes. So 40 different scenarios, and of course you can make up your own. Now let me slide over just a bit. Right there, these guys have firearms, lead slingers. I think it's called an arquebus. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. Lead slinging early prototype rifles. They can reach out a little bit further than a normal bow. But you'll have archers, you'll have mounted archers, you'll have spearmen, you'll have mounted spearmen. You'll have peasants that can kind of do swarm attacks. You'll have heavy red square samurai that are more highly trained. They carry a lot of honor with them and a lot of skill and better kit. All right, I'm going to give a couple card examples. So outflanked. You can move 2 units on the left part of your map and 2 units on the far right part of your map. No units in the middle. The crane's wing, you can see, would allow you to move 1 unit in each of the sections, left, center, right. So I could move this entire unit of 4, and then I could move a unit of my choice in the center, and then same thing on the right. We'll show one more. So the tiger's tail left. I can move 1 ordered unit, or I could order a unit, and I'll explain more on that in a second, on the left, 2 in the center. Now you also have some special cards that don't look quite like that. So here we have hold and shoot. Issue an order to 4 or fewer ranged weapon units. Ordered units may fire twice. And you can see it goes on. So you're going to have some cards that allow you to do special things that don't quite go with the standard rules in the game. So when you order a unit, you can move it. You don't have to, but an ordered unit has the option of moving. Based on the type of unit, they'll move different amounts of hexes. And then some units can move and shoot. Some can move a couple hexes, but not shoot. And then if you are a melee unit, in other words,
a spearman, so you don't have bows. You have to be adjacent for close combat. Or if you're a bowman, you can reach out and touch somebody, or an arquebus. You can reach out even further with that and attack units with your ranged weapon. So I bring on these gorgeous dice. These are the dice that GMT's been going with recently. They are phenomenal. So I want to show a few more of these dragon cards up close. So you're looking at a photo of White Fox Spirit. You can see that upper left-hand corner. It's going to cost 3 honor tokens, pretty expensive, but you will play this card after your opponent has played a command card. And this allows you to mess with the card they played. So it says opponent's distracted and the number of units ordered this turn is reduced to 1 unit. So if they had something super nice like flying geese, which is, move 2 left, move 2 center, move 2 right, you come in and play White Fox and boom, they're only moving 1 unit. Fire by rank. You can see this costs 1 honor token. This is going to work with your arquebus. You will play it alongside your command card, and you will be able to roll 1 additional die in ranged combat. So you can see how these just trick things out a little bit. Let's see, let's use Ninja Assassin. It's going to cost 2. You'll play it alongside your command card. You get to target an enemy leader. And in this case, before you attack, you'll get to roll 1 die, and if you get a sword symbol, you'll actually eliminate the leader block. So yeah, this is a little bit movie-ish, but ninjas have snuck in and taken out the leader before the main combat has started. All right, so let me move in on these units here just to display a little bit of combat. I'm not going to go into a lot of depth, but I want to show basic range combat, then close combat, and then how leaders work. All right, I'm going to order my mounted samurai bowmen. They're ordered, but I'm not going to move them because if I move them, I will actually only roll 1 die in ranged combat. And I want to shoot at these red units with the arquebus. So I get 3 dice in ranged combat. They did not move, so it's a simple roll, and I'm looking to get circles. So with the results, the unit is not a red square, so miss. Swords are not in play for ranged bow attacks, and I do get an honor and fortune token. If I'd been in close combat, because the unit is of lesser stature, I would not, but I do get it in ranged. So the result would be just 1 honor token that I would get to put into my pool of honor tokens. So what would have happened if instead of just doing a ranged combat with my bow, I had used my stature, superior stature advantage from being mounted, and rode down these arquebuses in close combat? So I could have used a movement, all right, and come in. These units could have moved 2 hexes. I'm adjacent to the unit, which means I'm in close combat. I am still only rolling 3 dice, but in this case, I now will get hits on a sword for my superior stature, and I can count 2 more sword hits if I get them because they are a green circle. So I'm mounted and they're less well-trained than my samurai cavalry. So the roll comes in, I roll, and perfect. So I would get a hit for the circle, the triangle is a miss, and I get 1 sword, and we would remove 2 units from the defending side. So you've seen a ranged attack, you've seen a mounted attack. If I had a mounted leader with them, I would have actually rolled 1 more die for a total of 4 dice if I was able and willing to pay an honor token. It would have been inspired leadership. So you can see if you're adding in leaders and you're using superior units that are also of a mounted or higher stature nature, you can start adding in dice and getting sword bonuses as you roll against the opposing units. Now, just to show one other thing, so if I had instead, I'm adjacent to this unit, so I could have moved here and decided I'm going to attack these Ashigaru infantry spearmen. They have a leader. Now, the reason it's a little more dangerous attacking the leader, they can ignore some retreat flags if I were to get them, but I have a chance of taking that leader out. So if I'm going to roll again, we'll say that I paid an honor token in order to get an extra dice. I do have the superior stature for being a mounted unit. I've got the extra dice die that I'm going to use for a total of 4. Now, however, I'm only going to get a bonus sword for my stature that I can use, and one bonus sword is possible because they are a triangle. They're only like 1 level below me in training. So when this roll comes in, I've now got 4 dice, close combat. I'm using the leader's inspired leadership, and I have a superior stature. So when I roll, all right, still kind of a mixed bag, which is what you will get here. So let me put these on screen. All right, I've placed these next to the units. So you can see the triangle's a solid hit. This unit would be reduced by 1. Now the sword is also going to count. I could have gotten a second sword, but I didn't. So I would have another unit that's gone. And now because a successful hit occurred, the leader is also at risk. So I didn't eliminate the unit, but I still get to check and see if the leader was killed in this close combat battle we had. So I roll a single die, and if I get a sword result, the leader is killed. No. Now, it wouldn't matter if I got a triangle or anything else. This was just to see if I got a sword, and if so, this leader would have been killed, but he wasn't. And that is a leader casualty check. All right, one final tip just on setup and storage. My suggestion, learn this from Judd, you put all of your units that are a certain type. So if I have mounted bowmen, I put both the red and the blue mounted bowmen all in the same bag. So if I'm doing a setup, all I got to do is find the bag. Now I will end up writing on these as well. Find the bag that says mounted bowman, and it doesn't matter. Maybe in my setup I only need 4 of them for red or something. But it's so much easier to find the units when you've got them separated by type rather than by army.
All right, final thoughts. So I love Command and Colors. I love the entire system. It really comes down to, at this point in time, if you like the theme. So Command and Colors gives you a game over a simulation, so you got to know that going in. You've got that loss of control with those left, center, right, and the cards that you're playing to do what you need to do or do what you want to do, or the inability to do those things that you want to do. But the honor tokens here, I'll get to the leaders in a second. The honor tokens here are perfect with the theme. Many CNC games will have tokens that you use to pay for things. But this use of honor tokens to pull off your dragon cards, these fanciful things that you can do, these rule-bending things that you can do with the dragon cards is awesome. I like the cards as well. But it's the fact that if you are retreating, you need to pay honor tokens. You're losing face. The ability for a leader to commit seppuku rather than surrender, and it loses you a command card, but you gain 5 honor. That is what I'm talking about. That's what Borg does with this system. He puts that little sparkle of flavor in there, that theme that comes through. And those honor tokens, these leaders that can filter around from unit to unit, they bring with them their command authority or their inspiration, and they allow for stronger attacks. But boy are these leaders able to just get taken out as well. So that mix that's in there, these leaders feel like they're right in the mix. They're right in the battle. And I love how that carries through.